What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys haven't seen the previous video, we went to the junkyard, we scored some clean door panels for the sedan, and we installed an oil pressure gauge also on the sedan, and the results, 60 psi. If you guys haven't been caught up with my sedan, we took it to Bakersfield a couple of weeks ago. We ran twice on the track, didn't do so well, driver's mod error, and on the way home, 30 minutes into my drive, we had this crazy knocking noise, and it sounded a lot like a rod knock. So I shut the car off, and shout out to Jamie for towing me all the way back home. We're literally about 200 miles away from home. So shout out to you for being a real one and towing me back. And we installed an oil pressure gauge on it yesterday. On the cranking no start, we were getting about 20 psi. And on a quick startup, like a quick startup and off, we were making 60 psi. Normally a spun bearing is oil starvation, whether it's a clogged passage port, which I doubt, or a failed oil pump. But if you're making 20 psi on the crank and 60 on the startup, we're definitely getting oil pressure. So I consulted my engine builder. Shout out to Chris for kind of running me through some of the scenarios, and we believe now that it may not be the engine that's knocking. It could be something else. Now, mind you guys, I've been watching a lot of PFI Speed. It just so happens I'm wearing their shirt today, but I've been watching PFI Speed after their race days and stuff. Also, Goofy Built Shane's channel. They've been having a lot of issues with flywheel bolts backing out, even Loctiting them, even cranking them down to 100 foot-pounds. They have flywheel bolts backing out that sounds like a knocking noise. A lot of clutch issues as well too, but mainly flywheel bolts backing out. Now when you start getting to the territory of, like, you know, 600 plus horsepower, these guys are cranking down 800 plus, but when you start making a lot more power, things do become loose. And I've had an issue before on my Fidanza flywheel on my LSV Tech way back in the days in the sedan, way back in the days on my sedan. My LSV Tech had a Fidanza flywheel, a Lighting 7-pound flywheel, and the knocking noise sounded very similar, which turns out to be the flywheel bolts backing out because I was using automatic ones. So what I want to do today, and you know, I do yap a lot, okay, you guys got to understand that. I read some comments about you guys complaining about me yapping. I like to yap a lot. Today we're gonna move my CRX off the driveway. We are in the garage a little bit late because of researching and calling and talking and trying to figure out what this knocking noise is before I jump the gun to pull the engine out of the car. So we're gonna move my KRX off the driveway, gonna move the sedan onto the driveway. We're gonna drain the oil first to see if there's any metallic or copper in the oil. If it doesn't have any copper or metallic in the oil, that's gonna be a good sign. And then I'm gonna pop the transmission off and kind of inspect the clutch and the flywheel setup. I'm hoping that it's somewhere there in the bell housing so I don't have to yank the entire engine out of the car, because that would really suck. But also big shout out to Chris Bill, because he said if something is wrong with the engine itself, he will, you know, take care of me. So that's what we're gonna do. Right now it's about 5 o'clock. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. My cat's sleeping, so I didn't want to turn on my car. Thing is heavy. I got the car jacked up, lost a little bit of time because if you guys saw my Instagram stories by the time this video drops, you guys probably know that I swapped out this coolant overflow tank from my neighbor's Volkswagen over there, and he just pulled it right now to pick up his keys and stuff. So right now I'm going to drain the oil from the car, I went to the backyard and got this little, what is this? This is a little cute Home Depot jug of my Bob. 2 US gallon right there. Cool little thing. I never noticed that this was ever in the backyard, but I'm gonna drain my fresh VR1 because I put it in 2 days before going to the track. Has literally like 200 miles on it, so I'm gonna drain it so I can get a better look on the oil to see if it has any metallic or copper in it. And I am gonna kind of strain it a little bit too while it's draining out, so I can kind of pick some up in the strainer and get a better look at it. But if there is copper or metallic in the oil, you will definitely see it here. So let's go ahead and drain the oil. Bull Boost oil pan, 5.5 quarts. I think I did a little more than 5.5 quarts. Hopefully 2 gallons should be enough. And this is a 19 millimeter, not your typical 17. I should have jacked the car crooked so it can drain all the way out, because it is on the side instead of the rear. Oh hell no. Point blank ass period right there. That is straight up bearing material. It was literally gunked up right at the end right there before I even pulled the damn plug out. No bueno. Man, look at the color of this. No bueno. That's all bad. Damn, had my hopes up a little bit. But we have a game plan. Let me tell you guys. So I made a video where I pulled out my last spare K series engine. This is a K20Z1 out of like an 05 RSX, and in the last couple of days I've just been cleaning the heck out of the engine. I don't know if you guys can see it. I opened up the timing cover. I did new timing chain, new tensioner. I resealed the oil pan, resealed the timing cover. I did the valve lash. I took off the aluminum pan right here, put a steel pan on. We have a dash 10 welded on right there. And I originally was going to just put it in the car, keep it all motor, put a header on it, and use my old exhaust system just to, you know, make it run. But then I got to thinking, I was like, I mean, we've made plenty of good power on stock K series with pump gas. Or if I want to go E, I can make a little bit more power. But I think I'm just going to turbo this one right here, keep it low boost pump gas, and just keep it a streetable, subtle 400 horsepower. And then we'll figure something out with this engine. And if actually this engine or a new motor, I was contemplating on getting a sleeve motor, but I don't know yet. We got to figure out everything after the fact of getting this into the car and running. So I think that's the game plan. I think that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna try to knock everything out tonight, because that sounds a little crazy since it's 7:12 p.m. right now, but I'm motivated. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather use the motivation now and just get the ball rolling. So I'm gonna throw you guys on a time lapse this entire rest of the night, maybe until tomorrow, to get this engine out and this one put back into the car. Let's get to it. guys, so the engine is actually ready to come out. It's just this mount, that mount, drop it down, roll it out. But I just realized I don't have a dolly. The dolly that I use to swap engines back and forth is this one, but I just reassembled the wagon's engine to get it off the engine stand to prep the new motor that's going to be going into the car. And the wheels right here are on the other dolly. I normally have spares in the back, but I took a lot of them to the storage unit, so I might have to unstack the wheels here real quick so we can use that dolly. And so I'm just gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna put you guys up on the charger because you guys are at 17%. All right, guys, it is 10 o'clock on the dot. Engine is out. You guys saw I scrubbed the floor. I really hate when I spill coolant or anything. I like to scrub it right away. Got the floor clean, sprayed the engine bay down, scrubbed that, cleaned that, and dried it all up. Got the oil drip tray cleaned up as well too, because there was a lot of like rags that were just completely soaked, and it takes a long time for it to dry up. So every time I move it, it would piss coolant all over the place. So I threw off all of the old ones, and like, you know, the ones that I use in the garage when they get a little too oily, I use that to kind of, you know, replenish the tray. I could get like one of those soaking mat, whatever, but you know, old rags work great, old t-shirts work great too. So I was going to strip the long block down and assemble it on the K20Z1 and put it back into the car, but I got to edit a video tonight. I don't want to be out here too late. I could get it like put back into the car tonight, but why rush? I mean, there's nothing I'm looking forward to that I need the car up and going ASAP other than some road racing. But you know, I got tomorrow all day. I can knock it out quicker. Literally took me like what, 2 or 3 hours to do all this late night. So having a full day tomorrow, easy peasy. The homie Mondo came by. He's been working on his CRX. If you guys remember, he has that non-VTEC LS Turbo white CRX that was on the channel we did a while back, and you actually got it up and going again finally. Yeah. But a stock motor, because he's going to be working on a new built motor, because the one that you had cracked the sleeve. Yeah, it was boosted for a little while too, man. I mean, non-VTEC, what was it? It had rods and GSR pistons or nipping pistons, yeah, or turbo GSR pistons. Yep, turbo. Yeah, turbo pistons, and then it had a stock head with valve train. Yep. Yeah. It made a pretty good amount of power for a non-VTEC, and after a little while, it finally cracked the block and took everything apart. Sat for a little while. Yep. We went to the junkyard. You guys probably see it a couple of months ago. We went to the junkyard, picked up a LS Lexan block, the cleanest one in the yard for the most part, yeah, and sure. He finally got it fired over, and it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds really good. Yeah, so right now it's in stock formation, but I haven't really, I mean, if you guys stay posted, if you guys paid attention every time we talked about, you know, picking up his stuff and everything, you got some stuff up your sleeve, huh? Yeah, just a little. Same, but different. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just a little thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, he got his car up and going. It's bone diggity stock, and you've been working on the interior all day. Yeah. Kind of getting all buttoned back together, getting it comfortable to drive, because there's a NorCal CRX meet coming up, and he's trying to get his car back up on the road so we can all attend that. Yeah. But he came by right now. Obviously, it's late because he's picking up his tires that I gave him, because, well, I'm trading you for cat food. Yeah. Those are NTO ones that we took off my Q8s a while ago. We installed some R888. Shout out to Mario for the R888s. The NTO ones is going to be beneficial for him, since he has some really bald RE11. RE71Rs, Potenzas. And he's picking up those, and he's also picking up the seats right here. Shout out to my boy Leo, rest in peace. He gave me these seats from his red CRX. They've been in my storage for a little while. I actually traded him stuff, but he gave me these seats and they've been in my storage for a while. I don't know when I'll ever use them, but his car has one driver's side SI seat, one DX passenger seat. It's a blue seat, blue or gray. Yep. Yeah, so this is the same seat. He'll have a matching passenger. He can do swap-a-roos and make the bolster clean by using the driver's seat, because you already have a driver. Yep. This one, I don't know if you see it, but it's kind of crooked because this was in the accident that Leo was in when he hit the toll a couple of years ago, and the seat's kind of bent. So this is a spare you can use for, you know, the skin, but he has a passenger matching now, so he's going to be picking this up and that up. And for me, I'm going to continue tomorrow with taking everything off the old engine, the old new engine, sadly. I'm going to take everything off, and because I only have one dolly, I need to get this on the engine stand and then free up the dolly, take this one off the stand, put that on the dolly, then start reassembling everything. So that is the game plan. By the end of this video, everything should be back into the car. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to turn over, but everything will be back into the car. So we'll see you guys in a second. It is 10:49, and the last clip you guys saw, we stuffed the engine into the car, and I decided that I was just going to leave it hung in the car, but then I started assembling everything that I could. So engine bay is almost done, because I still need to put the radiator on. I wanted to button up all the stuff up here. Radiator goes on, clutch slave goes on. This half is done. The turbo kit is not on because I reused the water pump housing right here, which is a base model, and I'm using base model water pump, which has no oil cooler line, and that means I'm not running the oil cooler in the back which you guys, I don't know if you guys can see, but because I'm not running an oil cooler, which this motor did have an oil cooler, I took it off, and I don't have the fitting for the oil filter, so I need to order that. I didn't want to risk stripping the other one off the built engine, which had the stud on it, but I'm gonna have to order that in order to run a filter. Right now it's blocked off so oil doesn't come out, and once I get that on, then the turbo manifold goes on. But as far as everything else goes, heater hoses, you know, breather lines, fuel lines, vacuum lines, rear motor mount, shift cables, all the grounds are on. I didn't do this axle because when I took it out, I didn't realize the axle had a torn boot, which then bled out when I drove it to Bakersfield, because the entire wheel well is completely covered in grease, and on top of that, you can feel that this is kind of seized in the tripod or the CV. So this axle's bad. I need to order another one. I did put the passenger side on. Everything is fully bolted down. Cotter pins are in, ready to rock and roll. Traction bar is put on as well too, and we're making progress. I mean, we're really just chipping through this really quickly, and I'm hoping within the next day or so, maybe even tomorrow. No, actually I got a car tomorrow, but tomorrow or 2 days from now, for me, this thing should fire over. The drive shaft is not on because I didn't feel like crawling down there to put it on, but progress is better than no progress, guys. I am getting a little excited to get this thing to turn on again, and I'm crossing fingers this engine turns out well. Pop the pan off, nothing unusual down there. The engine itself is actually pretty clean. I'm really just pushing through this installation. I'm really just throwing everything on a time lapse just to share it with you guys. You know, I could have just done this off camera and it would have been done already, but we did run into a couple of hiccups, like, you know, oil filter situation, but a few other things that we took care of. And K20Z1, it's in the car. I didn't realize that the Z1 had the K20 pump on it. I thought it was the dual balance shaft one, but that's actually K20Z3. So you learned something new. We didn't really do much with the engine other than timing chain tensioner, steel pan, bung pan, valve lash, threw it back into the car, whatever head gaskets on it, stock head studs, and twin disc transmissions back on. Same stuff we used in the car beforehand. And I can see the light. I can see the light. I'm tired. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice, but we're gonna wrap it up for this video. I am super duper filthy. It is late and I haven't eaten anything all day, but we're gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoy the progress update on the EF Sedan REDZONERACE V3, sadly, but V3 hopefully is a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you did. If you guys want to stick around for, I got a CRV coming in tomorrow, but if you guys want to stick around for the startup of the EF Sedan, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.